Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing another Nasus game, mainly because there are several builds you can do on Nasus, and I just cast the last one because people were asking for the game with a pro gamer in it. Well, there was a pro gamer, sorry, a pro gamer in that one, and now we're going to see a decent Nasus build. Sorry, other dude. No, it's all good. Nasus is built with cooldown reduction in this one, and it is a pretty decent build. It allows you to get a lot of Q farm, and the Q farm, or the Q, is going to be your main source of damage, which is the way it should be. So starting off with regrowth pendant and 1 health potion, which is a risky opening, but you can do it on Nasus because he has this 14% lifesteal. It's going to go up with the level, and therefore your Q, every time you do a Q, you get 92 damage done, and you're going to get more and more and more on that, and therefore the 14% lifesteal will actually gain you a lot of life. It's risky in the beginning, as I said, because I still like boots and potions more, but boots and potions just gives you a whole lot of sustain. Oh, we're not starting off with the wolves, okay. It just gives you a whole lot more sustain, and it's just safer in lane. Of course, the 14% lifesteal can still be used effectively later on. But yeah, if you start boots and potions, it's just a little bit safer. You lose only like 70 gold on that, but you make sure that you don't get killed in lane. And especially against what is going to be Nidalee top lane. Yeah, Nidalee range champion, so going to have some trouble there in, well, the harass department. It's going to take a lot of harass if she plays this correctly. And of course, if she doesn't play this correctly, then he was right. He should have gotten this. But so far, Nidalee not engaging, and there goes the first one. And already taking him, well, one hit can take out about half a block, so 50 damage. And yeah, that's of course, if you combine that with the javelins, and with the traps, that of course is a lot of damage that she can do without him being able to retaliate at all, because that's just the way it works. If you're melee and you have no boots, then a ranged champion with boots is going to harass you all day long, and it seems that Nidalee is more interested in just hitting the minions instead of hitting the Nasus. Of course, her last hits, yeah, she should still take those. Nothing to be said against that, but she should harass him a little bit more. Going to use the Spirit Fire here instead of the Q, and he's going to push his lane because of that. And against Nidalee, yeah, that may not be the best of ideas. So yeah, the Nidalee just hitting the minions, not last hitting, but just hitting them. And I guess his pushing the lane kind of got her to use her damage on the minions instead of on him. And yeah, he is going to lose a few minions because they're out of range, or yeah, he's going to take a lot of damage from them. Same deal. But Nidalee, yeah, she kind of lost a few minions there to the turret, so I guess that's all good. And wow, that did no damage. How did that do no damage? I don't know. Maybe it's just the level 1 javelin. Who knows? So Nidalee starting off boots and potions and heal. I don't know if she took heal level 1, but it seemed that way. It seemed that at least she got it in like the first 2 levels. And that is very defensive. Normally we see the javelin or the traps first. Normally we see the traps first, because then you can trap here and here and here, and you can ward up all of your all of the gank paths, so someone cannot just come in to kill you. And you ward up all of those paths, and then you go back, you get your full mana back, and then you can replace them whenever you want. Of course, you don't have to go back, because well, if you only have traps as a skill, you don't really have to do anything. So taking a lot of damage here, and it is going to be close. No, 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 it's not going to work. No, even if that javelin hit, he would have been safe. But that javelin was really sloppy. It went all the way through the rocks instead of just going over here, which is a far better path for it because you can't dodge it as easily. This one could be dodged by just walking over here. If you throw it over here, this guy is still going to get hit, and this guy is still going to get hit, so you need to be all the way over here to dodge it, and that's, well, way more of a difficult situation. Of course, you just threw it out because it's on smartcast probably. And yeah, some people just have trouble aiming with smartcast. You can cast with it a lot quicker, of course, that's why it's there, but it is risky. And Nidalee going to take some shots here. Yeah, she played that completely wrong. And yeah, that's not going to work. She has to run out, and nothing is going to happen. So yeah, Ness is going to land a few Qs here, and then with that going to heal up. There you go, every Q giving him, let's see, 140 damage. Oh no, it's more. It's 140 plus the 70. I forgot the 70. So that's 210 damage, and you get 17% lifesteal now. Yeah, I knew it leveled up, because I remembered 17 from some other game that I did way back. But it is apparently 14, and then yeah, it's something per level, like half per level or something like that. Maybe it only levels up like level 6, 11 and 15, 16, something like that. Don't know. Maybe 6, 12 and 18? Yeah, well, whatever. It levels up with level. So he has to use his ultimate here to stay alive, and the jungler is coming in, but it seems there is no slow on this Nidalee. Well, she does have the jump, so yeah, and now no slow coming out. She doesn't have an ultimate yet because she's level 4, so really behind on these solo lanes. Although she may be really close to level 5, we can't see that unless she levels up right now. But at least she gets some damage done now, but now Nasus is nowhere near her. She gets the slow off, maybe even the permafrost or whatever it's called. The additional slow. But yeah, it's the second attempt was a lot better than the first one, but it still didn't work. So we are going into the later stage of the game, or well, the mid game now, I guess, where ganks are a little more frequent. Also, people are getting a little more tanky. Nasus still hasn't gone back, so he is really not tanky, and Nidalee hasn't gone back either, so neither is she. But yeah, everyone should have their first item right about now. The first not too big item, so like boots level 2 and wriggles or something like that. I mean, wriggles is a small item, but it's still very useful. And yeah, with those items, or once everyone bought those, yeah, we're going to see a distinction in who builds damage and who builds well, armor, magic resist, health, so tankiness. Oh, is he going to get it? No, she has a heal. Oh, it's going to be good enough. Wow. Wow, that was actually, yeah, Nidalee's mistake there. Of course, Nidalee can't really go up without any items against the Nasus with no items, because the Nasus with no items has a lot of lifesteal. And, well, he doesn't have a lot of armor and things like that, but it is better to have lifesteal than to have yeah, the heal that she has, because lifesteal is way more consistent. It does it gives you way more health back than the heal, because the heal has a cooldown and blah blah. And yeah, they're nerfing all kinds of stuff in this game, but they still haven't removed the lifesteal. Oh, they are going to remove oracles, by the way, for those of you who haven't heard. Oracles is going to be removed, well, partially removed, I guess. It's going to last for something like 3 minutes instead of until you die, and it's going to be, or it can only be used once every 7 minutes or something like that. So, yeah, I talked about that a few months ago already, how Oracles is just super overpowered and Riot didn't realize it. Seems they finally caught on. And they finally realized that it is indeed an overpowered, well, skill to have for only 400 gold. And especially on the tanky champions. I mean, if Nasus gets an Oracles in the late game, so not so much right now, but once he gets some armor and magic resist going, yeah, he can't be killed anymore. So it's the same with Alistar and champions like that. There are lots of champions that have that. But yeah, if you get an oracles on them, they can't be killed. Or, well, it's very inefficient to kill them, because if you try to kill them and the rest of the team engages, you're going to lose a whole lot of damage that you should have done to the rest of the team. And oh, a nice ultimate coming out. Come on! Yes, there we go. So yeah, they get a kill on Nidalee here. Very nicely done. But yeah, if you get an oracles on a tanky champion, he will not die and he will completely own all the wards on the map. And that, of course, is not what you want. You want to have that aggressive gameplay, and the only way people are going to play aggressively is if you allow them to have wards on the map. Because without vision, nobody's going to overextend. And what we want to see is people tower diving all the time and things like that. And yeah, the Oracle's elixir kind of makes that impossible, or the lack of vision makes that impossible, which is caused by the Oracle's elixir. Of course, in the lower level games, nothing will change because nobody buys Oracle's elixir. But it will change the way people play, because nowadays, especially the CLG EU team, gets a really early Oracles on a tanky jungler all the time. So they get someone like Maokai or Alistar in the jungle. Just get an Oracles as like the first item and then not die. I mean, the jungler just won't die, or dies very sporadically, and the enemy team just can't place any wards ever. That's going to change, because if you have the or if you're only allowed to buy an Oracles every or use one. I don't know how they're going to manage that, by the way, because that's going to be very troll sensitive. But if someone isn't allowed to use oracles for 3 minutes out of every 7-minute period, getting an early oracles may not prove to be very useful, because then you have this 3-minute period and people are going to know when that 3-minute period starts, and when yeah, you can't really remove the wards. Again coming in, and come on, get the slow on him. She had an ultimate. I don't know why she didn't use it. The Sejanni. She steals all of Nasus' farm. So yeah, Pantheon apparently useless in the bottom lane. Well, he has 19 minions, so yeah, I would have to agree with that. 19 minions at 13 minutes in. I don't know if he's playing support, but seeing from his items, he's not playing support. He's just not good at getting last hits. 39 minions on Kog'Maw though, which is still acceptable. And Nasus at 86, so he is definitely owning it up. Nidalee also at 85. Which means that they kind of keep each other at bay. Well, it's also because this is a complete farm lane. Well, at least for this early game. And yeah, maybe later on they will become a little more aggressive. But Nidalee has been killed twice already, and Nasus is still not getting the dominance in the lane that he wants to have, or he should have by now. That's because he is a melee champion and Nidalee is ranged. Of course, that's a big difference in how you can play that. He's out of mana, by the way, and that's why he's last hitting, or well, pushing the lane here and just getting the last hits with the Q wherever he can. But he's going to have to push the lane a little bit, because otherwise he's going to lose his lane to the push from our opponent here. And he's going to go back and going to buy, hopefully not the Shiralia straight away. No, going to buy the Spirit Visage. So that allows you to get more out of that lifesteal. 15% extra and 15% on top of that, 20% now. That's not a whole lot, but still, because that's 3 extra percent. It looks like a whole lot, but it's actually not. It is, however, yeah, the 250 health and the 30 magic resist are kind of useful. But yeah, it doesn't really change the amount of health he's going to get. Because yeah, the 15% looks like a whole lot, but yeah, you can see how that goes from 20% to 23%, and yeah, 23%, not that much of a difference from 20%. So anyhow, the Nidalee, oh, I thought she was out of the lane, but she's coming back. She's probably placing some traps to ward against that gank. Because that, of course, is what she's afraid of. Yeah, she did trigger a trap, the Sejanni. Don't know why the Wither wasn't used there. Seems like such a good thing to have. Wither going down right now, and that is going to mean they can catch up with her, but no, it's not going to result in anything. And that is, yeah, unfortunate. So yeah, lots of skills being used here, but still both teams are at high enough health that they don't really, well, they don't really do anything to each other. And oh, Nasus is staying top, never mind. We are going to stay top as well, because we only have vision where Nasus has vision. That's why we need spectator modes, but I know spectator mode bugs a lot. I think this game was supposed to have spectator mode on. Yeah, it bugs because of Steam, for those of you who have that running. And yeah, if you don't have Steam running, like me, and it still bugs for me every now and then I have no clue what's doing it. I'm thinking it is, that's what I thought in the beginning, until someone came up with the Steam. Yeah, I don't have Steam running, so, and it still bugs, and it probably has something to do with the fact that there are some major bugs in the Riot programming. So the LoL replay guys just have to work with what they have, and they really have no way to check whether spectator mode is on or off until you finish the replay. Because that's just the way you set up a program like League of Legends. Because you don't want people to piggyback on your spectator mode, because then they would actually be able to see where the enemies are and things like that. It's already possible, by the way, to detect recalls as well as buffs through the Fog of War. So you would be able to see where people are who have wards, sorry, buffs. Did I say wards earlier as well? I meant, oh, no, you could see the wards as well. You could see the wards as well. So all in all, yeah, that's not a good development, of course. It means that someone found a way to get that out of the server information, and that is not good. I don't know how, but yeah, it's just a matter of how you program that. You can program them in several different ways, and if you do it incorrectly, people are going to utilize that to, well, to just make cheats and things like that. And yes, it really exists. And that of course sucks, because that means that people are going to be able to well, snipe you with skill shots if you're trying to recall in a place that you don't expect. Nice ignite. The ignite picking up the kill, and they're going to pick up this kill as well because of the wither. And yeah, the wither is a really strong slow. It is so strong, it allows you to do so much damage with, well, all of your abilities. 228 additional damage here. Still a 3-second cooldown. So no cooldown reduction yet, or no real cooldown reduction yet. Currently at 25% though, so that's already pretty high. I thought it's just a 15, but this one has 10 as well. So yeah, this is supposed to go down to about 2 seconds, I think, or 1 point something. But yeah, that's it's a really nice build. You can get a lot of Q farm off of it. But as you can see, at this moment, he's not really using that that Q ability because, well, he was taking down the turret. But you can take down the turret with your Q ability as well. That's why Nasus is such a good turret killer. So another ward going down. And the ward actually spots this region. So people coming in from here as well as from the jungle and the river. So it's a really good ward spot. I personally would prefer over here, because it allows you to see this a little bit clearer, because people are going to skirt around this edge and you're going to have very small amount of warning there. So yeah, there we go, getting the Q farm up, and now this is because, well, the moment you get it to, or you go to level 9 and you get that Q to level 5, you need to start using the Q on everything you can find, because that is just the way it works. If you get it to like 300 extra damage, you can see how that works. How that extra damage will help you own the enemies in lane, as well as in team fights, because you're building all kinds of tanky crap, and with all kinds of tanky crap, it's of course great to have these kind of high damage skills that allow you to do damage even though you're building full tank. And going to use his ultimate here, and not going to tower dive any further. Already in pretty far there, but he was still full health. Or, well, not full health, but pretty high health. And as you can see, every time the Q comes up, he's trying to use it to get a last hit on something. And in a fight, of course, you want to use your Q as often as possible to just kill the enemies. And we're going to recall, buy something new. And let's get some magic resist going. Okay, we're going to complete this one first. So that's 30% magic cooldown reduction, sorry. 10% more needed. And we are currently at 2.4 seconds. So you can see how that goes to 1 point something when he has that additional 10%. 1.9 I think it ends up with. But yeah, it's a shame that cooldown reduction only goes to 40%. It would be cool if it could be like 50% or 60%. I mean, obviously you don't want 100%, but yeah, if you balance it correctly, you should be able to get to 60% cooldown reduction without having overpowered skills. But yeah, that's all, of course, in the balancing of skills, because if you can use your skill too often, do a lot of damage. But for example, for Nasus' Q, it would be really nice, because that's what the champion is supposed to do. It's supposed to be based around that Q farm. And he's going to get a lot of these stacks up right now, almost at 300 extra damage. And now he is at 300 extra damage. That means 100 last hits with that Q. That is pretty impressive. Especially because he only has 160. So, yeah. Pretty impressed by that. Still doesn't trade in the Philosopher's Stone because it's not necessary yet. By the time you go into team fights, yeah, then you want to have the Shuralias. But for now, it's all good. He's going to place another ward, making sure that nobody is coming in to gank him from the back there. From the front, so from this side, it's not a problem. Here, this is not really a problem. It sucks because it does damage, but he's going to ult and probably own both of them. And yep, there we go. Getting the ult. Not going to go in. He should just go aggressive here. Might as well. He has the lifesteal. Then why not go aggressive on these guys? And yes, there goes the first one. And he's going to get the second one as well. Pantheon completely out of mana. What you gonna do, bro? Come on, Wither! Yes, Q! Q him in the face! Wither! Q! Oh, it's going to be close. Come on, Wither! No! Yes, he can land it. It actually has large enough range. There we go. Told you. Told you that was going to work. And no, I don't watch the games beforehand. I'm just really glad that every now and then someone does what I predict. Oh, yeah, he was already shopping it seems, because he didn't see Ashe coming in. But he is going to be fine. He's going to own Ashe if she follows him. So that ultimate is very strong, and well, the Wither, you could see Wither with cooldown is just super powerful. Oh, how did I miss that? I was over here and then because I knew there was going to be a fight here at some point, because the enemies were here as well, at least two of them. But yeah, well, it seems that I missed it anyway. Not that we could have seen anything, because, well, can't even see most of the skills on this guy when, well, Nasus isn't watching him. And yeah, some of the sometimes the skills do show themselves, sometimes they don't. But yeah, you can see there, you don't get to see a whole lot. It's a real shame. And well, I'm really glad we have Spectator mode. I really don't want to wait until they fix this problem. I want this problem fixed right now. Oh, is it Fat Sejani? Yeah, 5 kills, 112 minions. Yeah, you could say that. Fat Nasus too, but yeah, that's a little more common. Come on, get the slow off. Get the Q. Oh, come on, get the slow. They're going to chase him down, but that's not going to work. Come on, get the slow on. Oh, she doesn't get, or he doesn't get the slow on Nidalee. That would have, should have worked. But now both of the fat champions are going to get killed. Ah, that's such a shame. They were doing so well. But yeah, Sejani went a little bit too aggressive and went all the way around the turret here to get over here instead of helping out Nasus, which would have resulted in some kills on their part. Yeah, that's a shame. So he has Shuralias now, it wasn't good enough. And he's going for Sheen. Little late, but sure. Yeah, Nidalee getting another kill. And that's because, well, she has a lot of minions. She has the same amount of minions as Nasus has. And Ahri has even more. Wow, impressed by that. Yeah, Nidalee got to farm pretty freely that early game, even though she got killed 4 times. But still, she has 6 kills now. 170 minions, and all in all, that's a huge deal. There's a huge amount of damage right there. And you really don't want to deal with a fat Nidalee, because she can do a hell of a ton of damage. And yeah, she doesn't have her death cap yet, which surprises me, but that's because she went for Rod of Ages first. And death cap, of course, makes you a lot more powerful all of a sudden once you complete that. But yeah, anyhow, we are going to just farm a little bit more, because that Q farm is so important. And he currently has 345 additional damage, 350 now. And yeah, it's just that every 2 seconds it adds 3 damage. And yeah, if you can find enough minions, because that is of course the problem, at some point you will run out of minions. And I think he can one-hit most of the, or he can one-hit the back minions and like one basic attack into Q the front minions. But yeah, he's going to just farm it up and get all of these minions, most of them with the Q, and should be getting both of these as well with the Q. There we go. And of course with the Sheen you will have an easier time last hitting, but he decided to go for tanky stuff first and go for the rest later. So the damage stuff, because Sheen is really the only damage you need. It will add 50% to the additional damage as well. So you can see how effective that is in the late game. In the early game, of course, it doesn't really do a whole lot. Jax jumping to Pantheon, but Pantheon jumping on the enemies, so Jax jumping on the enemies. That was a pretty nice, well, interaction of skills. The slow going down on Pantheon, and Pantheon, yeah, going aggressive on a group of enemies that he wasn't going to get out of. Wow, Nasus is really owning them. Yeah, 8 kills now. And yeah, they're going to be able to push this turret, just kill the turret with a few Qs. Because why not? Look at that damage, man. That is crazy. They do so much damage as a group here. And Shyvana really going for the HP heavy build here. 4000 HP. And yeah, she's pretty much impossible to kill. She doesn't have a lot of armor and magic resist, but yeah, still has 90 armor. And yeah, that's a whole lot, by the way. That's almost 50% reduced damage, and this one is 36%, so that's not really impressive. But she can buy some magic resist. But yeah, going really heavy on the HP is good, especially if you have some magic resist with it, because there's nothing you can do against that. The only thing to do against high HP is the Matter's Blood Razor or Vayne. But yeah, if Matter's Blood Razor is not available because, or not effective because you have the magic resist going, then the only thing to do is get Ashe to hit you a lot, and by a lot I mean a whole lot, because Ashe, yeah, although she does, well, very low amount of damage in this case, although she does about 200 damage per shot, normally about 300 damage per shot, 4000 HP is still going to take a long time to take away if you have 50% damage reduction. And yeah, if you can nuke down someone like that, so someone like the Ashe, then yeah, what are they going to do? I mean, Ahri is not going to kill her at all, because her burst is very limited. Once you burst someone, it's pretty much over for your damage. And yeah, here you can see that the large amounts of HP and armor on both of these champions makes it pretty much impossible to kill. Okay, Why would you stand over there when you're Kog'Maw? Why would you just allow Jax to come running into you? If there are two full health champions trying to take that kill, or going to take that kill, why would you then stand there at 10 HP? I don't understand these kind of plays. So he's going to use his ultimate here, and currently has the 40% reduced cooldowns because of the blue buff. He just got the blue buff from Kog'Maw, gave it to was it Jax, and Jax gave it to Nasus. So, and there's the 4-0 surrender vote. So yeah, pretty easy game for Nasus. He really didn't have to do a whole lot except farm. But yeah, nice build and definitely nice play. The jungler coming in a few times to get those ganks off, and that is really amazing teamwork. That's what we like to see. So thanks for sending this to me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.